the most important variable in your training and your rehab is to get to a place where you can believe in what you're doing. And I know that sounds really cliche and intellectual, but I think one of the biggest problems in the fitness and health environment right now is that there is so much information and there is so many potential solutions to a lot of problems that maybe aren't even problems. If you're somebody that's been training or exercising for a regular period of time, you hopefully have goals and a direction you want to move in. And what can easily happen is we start to put ourselves on the path to goals, but when they inevitably take a period of time that is maybe longer than we want them to, we start to tinker with the process so much, and we start to either try to force the process or we start to try to manage all these variables in ways that aren't necessarily advantageous as long as we are on the general path. And I know that this is kind of the hard part, is like, am I on the right path? That's a hard question to answer, but in general, I would say that people who just believe in what they are doing and are relatively objective with like how they're approaching things, people who accept their starting point, they really try to pay attention to, am I like being reasonable with myself, right? Knowing that there's a lot of uncertainty in the process, but if they can continuously just like manage their expectations, and then people who just like are relentlessly showing up, like the most important variable is always just showing up and trying. Those people tend to do really well as long as they just manage the overarching amount of work they're doing in a way that like they don't just gas themselves out. They don't burn themselves out. So believing in the program that you're running, believing in what you're trying to accomplish, and trusting that the process that you're creating is going to take you in the direction of where you want to go is probably the thing that I think makes or breaks people the most. And I do think this is where having a coach, being part of a team, being around other people can be really, really helpful, because when you get some feedback, when you have some outside influence, that can be a really big positive for you to like not jump ship every time things hit bumps. I mean, a lot of what I think coaching is about is helping people slow down, sit in their emotions or sit in like the process a little bit, and trust that if they, do the things that are basically the basics over and over again and really get objective with themselves, good things will happen, right? The stuff that like you want to avoid or you get emotional about is typically the stuff that's like the stuff we need to learn from, whether that's in training or that's in rehab. So belief in what you're doing and creating a process that is essentially process oriented are really big factors that will take you a really long way. So figure out how to believe in the process and make it relatively repeatable and objective, and good things will happen. That's all I got for today. Appreciate you. Peace.